Hello guys, and welcome to another day with ZIMALETA. In today's video, I'm standing next to my van here. This is the one I purchased back in the day, but that's not what I'm getting ready to talk about. I'm standing in front of the van because I want to talk about Expedite, and I want this to basically, I don't know, like make sense to you, because I'm standing next to the van. But anyways guys, what I'm trying to tell you guys is, you know, I've been making videos, a couple videos that I just made. It's talking about expenses and stuff, where do we go to as drivers and how much money we're really making and stuff like that. So that being said, what can we do to get paid what we're worth? And that's a really important topic. A lot of people been really trying to you know, talk to me about various things, like if I wanted to kind of like come together and join kind of like, I don't know, like an Expedite alliance sort of thing, and we would get discounts and get MC number, try to like bid for loads and stuff like that, and things of that nature. But that's not what I really want to talk about. What I want to talk about is this, because that's a really complicated topic and an issue in itself, and really complicated matter, because it's a business type of matter, and business is not for everybody. But that being said, guys, let's get to the bottom of it and to the basics. Right now, we are expediters, and you know, some of us getting paid 65 cents per mile, someone's getting paid 80 cents per mile, someone's getting paid like $1. And typically we're supposed to be getting paid about 80 cents per mile plus fuel surcharge. That is the rules. But the companies, a lot of times, they're taking that fuel surcharge for themselves, and it's really kind of like illegal of them to do. They could probably still get away with it and say, hey, it's in our contract, we said we're going to pay you X amount, and that's what we're paying you. But when the brokers, they give loads, they leave that surcharge, fuel surcharge, in there for the drivers, so that you get paid for the load, plus they pay you for the fuel surcharge, so that you could deliver the load, pay for the fuel, and you actually have some money left over. Instead, companies are choosing to pay us 80 cents, keep the fuel surcharge for themselves, and profit at our expense. Not only that, expand and grow their businesses to really immensely at our cost. And they could do that because they are basically, here's like, you know how it is, like in business, you could sell something retail, or you're gonna sell something like a lot of items, like, why am I forgetting this word right now? But gosh, I forgot. But anyways, it's instead of like selling like a little bit of stuff, they're selling like extra like volume, you know. So they are charging less per each load. Maybe they're charging $1, let's say, right, on the load boards, and they're paying us 80 cents, and they're taking 20 cents for themselves as profit. Okay, so they could do that because a lot of times these businesses are based out of their homes, and they don't have any overhead, they don't have any employees and stuff like that. Plus they'll probably keep about 30 employees. Well, not employees, contractors, while not hiring any dispatch. And imagine this guys, 30 drivers. Each driver, they're making 20 cents per mile on each driver, and then each driver is driving about between 10 and 15,000 miles a month. So isn't that crazy? So let's see, at $15,000 a month, that's about $1,500 at like 10 cents, right? Yeah, 10 cents. And 20 cents, it would be about $3,000. So basically, from each driver, from 30 drivers, they could get $3,000. They're making $3,000 per driver that they have. Ultimately, you know, we really don't have to do the math to really see that it's $90,000 income every single month just from loading other drivers. So now, I mean, you're thinking I'm trying to talk about, I don't know, loading other drivers, and you could do that, you know, you could do that. And ultimately, that's actually what I want to talk about, is how to load ourselves. Maybe we don't want to grow a company. but cut out the middleman. And one thing I do want to talk about, that speaking of loading, it used to be back in the day the drivers were their own basically their own dispatch. You know, there was brokers and stuff, and they would post loads on load boards, and it was nothing but a board, maybe somewhere at a truck stop, like a regular board. They could like thumbtack stuff to it, and different companies and manufacturers and warehouses and suppliers, you know, like, and brokers, they would come there with like a piece of paper with a bunch of phone numbers, like that's cut like at the bottom, and they're gonna say, we got like so many loads, they're going X amount, you know, places and stuff like that. And I guess maybe they're gonna put the price that they're paying for the load. Maybe they're gonna say, you know, call us and give us your price if you're going in that direction or whatever, and they're gonna try to sell you the load. So the driver was their own broker. Well, not their own broker, the driver was their own logistics company, essentially. I guess they weren't really thinking about that, because that was just part of the job. So if you're driving, you're looking for a load where you want to go. I mean, still, really, ultimately, when it comes down to it, they had access to the load board. It's really nothing smart about it. They had access to the load board. Because they had access to the load board, it was not computerized and stuff like that. Like, nobody charged for that load board, because the guys that posted loads there, they wanted loads to be delivered, you know. And because of that, it was really simple system. You know, it's kind of like they're the dispatch, they're the logistical company. So you call them up and say, hey, yeah, you got that load to California, I'm gonna take it, you know. And you go ahead and you take that load, and you tell them what you want to get paid for, because you got a truck, maybe you got a box truck, whatever you got, you're gonna deliver for X amount of dollars. Okay, now the system is a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex, and now you got all kinds of load boards, and everybody's trying to make money because they can. And there's software involved. There's like software like Selectors, there's many like others, and they're charging now money to access that software. So obviously it quickly cuts you out of the picture, you know, because you're thinking, okay, I can't afford it. Maybe they're not gonna let you on because you haven't been in business long enough, and maybe you just don't want to load yourself because you'd rather have somebody call you and give you a load. And really, ultimately, kind of like, I mean, things changed. I mean, now drivers became drivers. Like, they're like employees. That's what I'm trying to say. They're like basically employees, and in a way, they want to be told what to do. Like, they don't want to think for themselves. They just want to say, hey, listen, I'm just gonna be sleeping back here, call me up when you get a load, you know. And we're not making the decisions anymore, but we're still incurring the expenses. We still have to pay for our vehicles, we got to pay the taxes, we got to pay the insurance, we got to pay, you know, all the service and, you know, like maintenance, and then get the vehicle payment, and you got the fuel expenses, and you have to be away from your family, and all the things that you face of being on the road. You're taking a lot of risk, you know. So the dispatch, you know, like now there's a warehouse or manufacturer, there's a broker, there's a, you know, logistics company, and then there's you, okay? And sometimes before it even gets to you, it goes to another broker and another logistics company. When it gets to you, it's the load's paying $5,000 less. I mean, 5 times less or 3 times less than what it was paying initially. Everybody has taken a piece of the pie out of it. So the whole video, and I know, like, I probably should have like somehow explained it, but how can I explain this, guys? It's really a tough issue, because the point I'm trying to make is that we need to get that pie back. How do we do that? We need to start bidding the loads ourselves. We need to try to do that. And sometimes some of us will need to get together and try to form some kind of like an alliance where, you know, I'm not saying that's a good idea at all, because, guys, where there's money, there's going to be a black swan involved. And whoever is going to be the organizer is going to see the dollar signs. And before you know it, they'll say, huh, wait a minute. So I'm giving fair prices to drivers now, but I could charge more. Screw the drivers. I want money. Because when there's money involved, man, you're thinking about Lamborghinis and Ferraris. You're not thinking about helping other people. So, guys, that being said, look at all these expediting companies that started, you know, logisticals companies. Ask the owners, ask anybody, like, the owners of those companies, they were drivers. So they were drivers that was fed up of getting, you know, somebody to give them loads and stuff like that. They wanted to get paid more. So what did they do? They open up their own little small business. Can you work for me? Yes, I'm gonna pay you fair. Okay, good. That's all I want. Can you pay me on time? Okay. You know, and you start doing that, and after a while, you're like, hey, I got 30 drivers now, I got 100 drivers now. Wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. 100 drivers? With 100 drivers, you're making about $3 million a year. Huh, why am I sharing this money again? I remember when my company that pays 80 cents, I used to always call them up and I say, listen, can you pay me 90 cents? Because look, I got this expense, this, da-da-da-da. Oh, they get pissed off. Oh, they get pissed off and they start yelling. I said, slow down. I'm just asking here. You know, I'm not telling you. Just asking you, like, you know, be fair here. But one day, they called me up and they say, you know, well, actually, I went to the office and, you know, they called me up, so they come in. And they say, hey, we're actually getting ready to tell all the drivers, we're going to pay you 90 cents. Really? Cool. Wow, that's awesome. Guess what? 90 cents never came. Why should it? What is 10 cents for each driver extra that they have to pay? Extra $1,000 to $1,500 a month in their cost. With 30 drivers, that's a cost between $30,000 and $45,000. So they probably sit down and thought, wait a minute. So we're gonna lose $45,000 by increasing drivers' pay. I'm not gonna do that. That could be, man, that could be 10 houses for us. That could be 10 cars, you know, whatever. That could be money, that's nest egg. Yeah, that's, you know, we want to be fair, but shit. We're not going to try to cut, you know, our, you know, take losses. What are we, crazy? We're trying to make money here. We're in business. So what do you think they're going to do? They stopped it. They're like, no, Serge, you misunderstood us. No, we said sometimes we'll pay you 90 cents. Yeah, right. Sometimes. Okay. Guess what? That sometimes happened. It was sometimes. And then that went away really quickly. And then guess what? Serge, will you take 70 cents? No. Serge, but you're going to be sitting there. You're not going to get any load for 4 days. We're not going to be responsible for those loads. I said, it's okay. Guess what I do next? I find a religious company. I hook them on board. I'm getting loads like that at 95 cents. And then they're getting pissed off. They're like, Serge, you need to quit the company. You need to choose us or them. We can't compete with that company. They're giving you too much. So I'm like, why? Why should I quit? Why should I quit? You know, them. They're doing pretty good. You know. So it's like that, guys. It's money. It's money. You see dollar signs? You don't want to share. I mean, be honest with me here. Would you share? I wouldn't. As nice of a guy as I am, I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. When there's money involved, I'm not going to share, you know. And I'm not trying to be rude at all. I want to save you money. But if I open up a business, I open up a business to make money, not to share my profits. And as nice I want to be to drivers, I just want to say, listen, guys, you got to think for yourself if you want to make money. You got to bid your own freight. You got to create your own connections and stuff like that. Because, guys, I mean, yes, it all sounds simple, good and dandy. Yay, we're all going to go get loads. But no, it doesn't work like that. And this is why you're not getting paid what you're worth. Because this company says, okay, sure, I'm sitting at the computer in the morning drinking my coffee in pajamas or underwear or like boxers. And you're not seeing me bidding these loads straight out of my house. But I got all the know-how. I got all the connections. I'm networking with so many different companies and brokers, and I got experience down my belt. Do you have the experience? No. So why should I share my money with you? That's what they're thinking. They're not going to share their money because they got that experience and they know. Go open up a company. Go open it up. You're going to struggle. It's not easy. The very first 2 years you're going to be in business, you're going to struggle so bad you wish you never started. And some will succeed a lot sooner. But like I'm saying, we're not all meant to be business people. Some of us are just employees that basically wants to open up a business, but we still have the employee mindset. You can't have an employee mindset and open up a business because corporations, That's another word for capitalists. Entrepreneur is another word for capitalists. You need to open up your company, so you need to start thinking like a capitalist. And you know, a lot of people want to think like a socialist, and where everybody's sharing. That doesn't work like that in this world. You know, if it does in some countries maybe, you know, but it doesn't work like that here. So everybody's out for their own, and in a way, I don't blame them, because think about this, okay? Let's say a company's sharing, you know, money with the drivers, but as soon as they got a problem, they got an issue, they need to cover a load, they really got a problem, and they're gonna call you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, you need to go 400 miles to help us. You're probably like, listen, I'm trying to sleep here, you know? You're not gonna care. When they're gonna have a problem, they're gonna say, listen, drivers, we've been paying you X amount of dollars, we're struggling right now, can you loan us some money? You're like, no, what are you talking about? Why would I loan you money, you know? You're not going to do this. So you're not going to be out there first in line helping him out because they helped you. No, because everybody, I don't care how you think, everybody is out for themselves. That's usually how it is. That's a mindset. Everybody only cares about themselves. Why? Because it's in the nature. Who's going to pay for our bills? Who's going to pay for our kids? Who's going to pay for your expenses? Nobody. Nobody cares. You're going to end up paying it yourself. In rare instances, somebody's going to help you. But even family and friends, when they see you struggling financially, they're going to call you up. Hey, did you lose that car yet? What about the house? Is it getting ready to get foreclosed? Oh, no? Huh. I thought you lost your job. Really? So you're not coming, you're not calling to give me some money? No, I was just checking. I just want to see how you're doing. Guys, they just want to like be happy of your bad situation. Like they're glad. Like, hey, we're not like that guy, you know? So they're happy. They're happy that they're somehow ahead of you, you know? I'm not one of those people, you know, guys. I'll tell you. As truthful as I am with you guys, and I'm just trying to be honest here, you know, that's how we are. We're really self-centered individuals a lot of times. I'm actually trying to do my part and actually try to give back. And it's kind of funny hearing about me through some other individuals that have watched my channel, and they're like, yeah, we heard of ZIMALETA. That's the guy that really explains how to do businesses and stuff like that. And why does he share all the secrets? That's why. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to like actually educate people, like, and show you like what are you doing, like. But people are actually thinking I'm like so stupid at sharing my secrets and sharing like you know, like how to fix your sprinters and, you know, how to, you know, get a house, and I'm like just giving that information out. But I'm trying to fill the need that nobody else is filling. Back in the day when I first started out as an expediter, I was like, man, stuff is breaking. I'm asking mechanics, they don't know. What about YouTube? Nothing on YouTube. What about sprinter forums? So much information. I'm reading UK forums. I'm reading Australian forums. I'm on sprinter forums in America. And I'm like, gosh, like I'm sitting there 24 hours researching. I'm thinking, everybody's talking about different stuff, about the same problem. Who's right? Who's wrong? Man, like it took years for me to figure out what I know. So typically, what is somebody going to do in my situation? They're going to open up a shop, and guess what? I got a business property here, and I could put a shop, and I could just charge people for fixing the sprinters. But guess what, guys? It's not my goal. I don't want to. Yes, I've thought of this before. People told me you could do it. I know. But I don't want to. That's just me. I'm focused on totally something else. My business it's leverage. It's not about squeezing every dollar out of your client. My business is like this. I'm going to be dealing with rich people for the most part, or people that want to be rich, and I'm going to work on one-on-one coaching, and for that I'm going to charge big dollars, because there's a lot of things that I could share and, you know, like guide, you know, like a certain process. It looks simple when you talk about it, but it's not really that simple, because you have to really structure yourself properly, and I could really show somebody how to make some money, you know. And for that, yes, that information is valued. Instead of being over there and just trying to like fix every sprinter that I can in the world, you know, and try to squeeze out every dollar of the poor sprinter driver, you know, instead I'm like, hey, this is how you do it, you know. And If I was to do this as a business, I would still tell you how to fix it yourself. And if you come to me in my service department, if I will have one in the future, because I might, because it might make sense, because I'm thinking possibly, I might have my own logistical company where I have my own vans running, I have to upkeep them, I have to hire a mechanic, and then, yeah, maybe I'll take on some work because I got to pay my guys. But individually right now, I don't want to take on any work. But if I'm going to have guys that's working, and you're going to come to me, I'm like, hey, listen, my shop, because I'm not going to work for cheap. I'll tell you that right now. I don't work for cheap. As nice as I am, and I'm going to show you like how to fix it yourself for free, I'm going to probably charge you the same what the dealer charges. Except you're going to get a peace of mind knowing that I'm very thorough, you know, when I'm doing stuff. And I'm not just going to tell you something just to tell you, you know, but I'm going to be telling you, listen, buddy, there's a video on this. Don't you want to do this yourself? And guess what? Many already people told me this. No, Serge, I don't care what you charge. Just listen, I just want you to work, you know, fix mine. I'll pay you. I'll pay you cash dollars. Just work on my thing. And that's because they understand that I'm thorough. I will find the problem. I'm going to fix it, and you're going to get better value. You're not just going to be a number. But I'm not going to charge cheap prices because, guys, ultimately, it comes down to this. Let's say like this. If I charge $1,000 per job, okay, and I want to make $2,000 a week, how many jobs do I need to do? 2 jobs, right? Sometimes those jobs might take me a day. Sometimes they might take me an hour. Sometimes they might take me less, okay? So I might spend, let's say, 10 hours to make $2,000, right? But guys, if I charge $100, how many jobs I have to do to make $1,000? I have to 20. I need to have a list of customers. I need to have 4 to 5 clients every single day for a whole week with various problems, and it's going to be crazy and stuff like that. So I would much rather charge a lot more to be less busy. And I know sounds like what a stupid way to do business, but guys, if I would be in business to do that, that's actually what I would do. And I'm not saying I would be a ripoff. I'm charging what I'm worth. That's it. You got to know what you're worth. And I know what I'm worth, what my time is worth, because with the same time that I'm spending, you know, talking to you guys, I could be doing something else. I could also make money that just basically flows into my bank account when I'm sleeping. Yes, this is very possible, guys. I made some videos on it, and I only touched a little bit on this. But in the world that we live in, it's the most best. If you know how to do something, just share it with the world. Just share it. You'll make money for the rest of your life with AdSense, with various stuff. Do you have to pay for it? No. Could you pay for it to me? Sure, you could. I have a donation button on YouTube. I have a donation button on my website. I have Patreon. It was 0 Patreons. It's kind of funny that back in the day that when I was trying to build my channel, some of my subscribers were like, hey, open up a Patreon. You need to open up Patreon. And I'm like, no. And I didn't open it. And I only opened it like almost like 3 years later. 0. But I don't care because I didn't open it to get dollars. But I figured, hey, listen, I know there's a lot of wishful thinking, you know, out there, you know, on my part and on part of others. Some people are like, man, I wish I'd get $10,000. But you're sitting there on your couch. You're wishing that that's going to happen, but that's not going to happen because, first of all, you didn't tell anybody your bank account, your address, where to send it, the money to, how and why should they send you the money, right? I always said, when those people come to me and they said to me, oh, I just know I'm going to have thousands of dollars. I'm going to be able to buy a house. And we're talking almost like millions of dollars. And I'm like, how is it going to happen? Okay. But did you give somebody your bank account? Maybe did you open up a separate bank account? You know, not to give out your personal one. No. Did you tell anybody? No. But I just know I'm just going to get it. You know, maybe this is going to happen. Okay. But if that will happen, then you need to create a place. You need to be known. You need to do something to the world. You're going to need to help. I bet, I'm almost like willing to bet, in my lifetime, somebody out there that's watching my videos, that's like, man, just massively rich. That's like a drop in the bucket, you know, like a little, like a $1 million donation is like 10 cents in the bucket. I remember there was like a saying, I think it was like Bill Gates would not dug down to pick up $10,000 on the floor because it cost them more money, you know, to pick it up. So these kind of people, you know, Maybe not. Sometimes you'd be surprised. Sometimes the poor actually donate more than the rich, but that's another question. But do I need to be donated? Not really, but I know in my lifetime, I did create a source where somebody wanted to say, hey, listen, I think this guy's doing well. I think he's helping people out. You know, he's on the right track. You know, I just want him to feel appreciated. Boom, like a drop in the bucket. You know, and I'm gonna look at him like, what? You know, but if I would not create a source of that donation, that would never happen. That's why you need to always work on creating that source. If you're trying to make money somehow, you need to make a few extra steps and you make that happen. You create that link, you create that process, you do something like that, and then you actually create money, guys. And I know this is getting off topic of Expedite, but I mean, could I say more on Expedite? I mean, this video was not like gonna be like how to teach you, but you know, how to do all these little things, because guys, everybody's different. You're gonna need to learn how to network and stuff like that, but you need to get this idea in your head and let your brain start brainstorming and figure out for yourself, like, could I start bidding my own loads? Maybe loads is not for me. Maybe I'm not making enough money with this. Could I do something else with my time to make money, you know? And sometimes you're gonna need to take what you have right now in front of you to, you know, make an income for yourself. Sometimes you're going to need to think outside the box. What are you gonna do next? Sometimes you don't know what you're getting ready to do until a few years later. Then you find out. Like, that's how it was with me. I didn't know what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm thinking, wow, I wish I did. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I did I didn't know that I was gonna do, because I didn't know about these things. And one thing that I noticed is, and it's kind of funny, I talk to my friends and stuff sometimes that actually come and visit me. They're like, man, when I'm talking to you, I'm getting ideas. Always like, I'm getting ideas, I'm getting these ideas. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's actually what I want to do. I want to be the missing puzzle, guys, for a lot of you. Like, you hear some kind of word, it triggers you. And you get this idea in your head. You're like, oh, you know, and you're like, you got this cool business idea and cool plan. But here's something, guys, that I want to say. You need to first slow down to go fast. And what I mean by that, can you stop, I don't know, close your eyes, open your eyes, look around, and like think, what is truly important right now in your life? Is money important? Is financial freedom important? Is your family important? Okay, all those things are important, I know, but what is important to you? Making a lot of money, having a lot of freedom, being able to spend time with your family, being able to travel when you want to. And I'm not just saying that, like, how much money do you really need, you know, to survive? And do you really need this big house? Do you really need this big expensive car? Maybe you could go with a used car. Maybe you could go with a smaller house. I mean, maybe you could move into, I don't know, a double wide, a manufactured home like I did, maybe a trailer. And then you're gonna start like having some extra money and some extra freedom. And I know some people say, oh, all I need is just like a bed to sleep on. Like, I don't care, you know, I'll sleep in a shed, you know. And that really makes a difference, because for that lifestyle, I mean, it's nothing to it. I mean, you could buy a trailer pretty much for $5,000 and pay lot fees about $150 to $200 a month, and that's it. A lot of rich people, millionaires, come out of trailer parks, guys. Like Tai Lopez is like one of them. He's I'm not particular fan of this guy, but I give him a lot of credit. You know, he took his situation of being in a Clayton, North Carolina, living in a mobile home, sleeping on a couch, and to creating like a multi-million-dollar stuff, what he does, and he just talks basically. So I give him credit for that. I met one guy, he was much older. He was out of a mobile home. He's got all kinds of businesses. He's making millions of dollars a year now. And he says, I remember, he says, when I used to like lay there in my bed in his mobile home, he could not make a lot payment, and he's like, man, maybe I need to sell my bikes. Man, what does these rich people do to make money? And then he started going around just talking to rich people, like, hey, what do you do? And he's got a lot of ideas and stuff, and then he became a millionaire. And sometimes you need to read a book to find it out. Sometimes you need to talk to people. Sometimes you need to listen to somebody like me, because I'm not a millionaire just yet, but guys, I have a millionaire mindset. And some of you guys already know that. Some of you guys that don't, you'll be surprised, because I have a $1 million mindset. I will make $1 million in my lifetime for sure. I already did, I'm pretty sure. But and I'm not saying I'll have like cash money just like laying there, $1 million. But I'll have $1 million in assets, not liabilities, and really easily, guys. If I do 4 more deals like what I have, and shoot, like that's it, like, you know. But I'll easily have probably even more than that. But because I have $1 million mindset, I have to think differently. I can't think like a driver. I can't think like an employee. I have to think like an entrepreneur. And in the next video, I want to talk to you guys about what is the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. And it's a big difference, guys. So if you want to watch that video, look for that video. If it's up, maybe look for it like in the next day or two. But it's an interesting topic, guys. So see you in that video. And please, if you enjoyed this little topic, please hit a like. And please comment and share this with your friends. But comment, what do you think about this? And some of your ideas and whatever it takes and stuff like that. And if you want to write to me personally, like in my email, it's zimaleta@gmail.com. That's simple. Just take my little name, plug it in, and boom. Just all small case. But anyways, guys, always a pleasure talking to you guys. I enjoy sharing this information. And if you guys enjoy listening to me talk, write to me. I listen to you talk or something, you know, something like that along those lines. Already, many of you guys really nice to me, and you that's what you tell me. That's what you tell me. And that really motivates me to do more. This is something that I wanted to do all my life. It's just to talk to people and just to help people out, you know, like to make better decisions, stuff like that. But at the time, all I knew was how to talk. I don't know nothing else. But now I do. So I'm sharing it with you guys. Take care of yourself, guys, and God bless you. Bye-bye.